In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the morphing capabilities built into Alchemy. Alright, so to understand this, I'm going to start from scratch. Go to File here and I'm going to select Initialize Preset. I'm going to clear out this modulation that has been assigned to the filter cutoff. So we get this basic sawtooth sound. Alright, so I'm going to activate all 4 sound sources and I'm going to change them. Pick something from this complex category. So the goal here is to just have different waveforms in each. Alright, so we have 4 different waveforms. Let me also change some other settings like the tuning. Alright, so currently we're hearing all 4 at the same time. In the morph, you can see here this circle is in the center, so we hear all 4 at the same time. But I can move this to A, so we just hear source A, source B, source D, and source C. You can move this XY control here or just adjust the X and Y separately. So this is fairly straightforward. We're basically just crossfading between these 4 sources. That's X-fade XY. Then there's X-fade linear. It's pretty much the same thing, but instead of having a Y-axis, we only have the X-axis. So I can only morph between 2 sources, A and B here, B and C here, and then C and D here. Alright, so this is fairly straightforward and you can create some interesting sounds with this. You can even assign a modulator to this. So for example, let me add this LFO here and let's make this LFO something more complex. And let's hear this. So that could be interesting, but I'm going to clear that out. And next I'm going to talk about morph XY and morph linear. Here's where things get a lot more complex and a lot more interesting. So notice I have my 4 sound sources. When I select morph XY, they all become sawtooths. And you see a lot of the knobs have this green arc around it. And if I go into the settings, you can see many of the various controls have that green arc. Now this morph XY primarily works when we have our sound source anything aside from virtual analog. So a virtual analog just resets everything back to sawtooth and it doesn't really work that well. So let me swap out from sawtooth to something else. Alright, so I'm just going to start from scratch again. So clicking File here, I've initialized the preset. So we're back to the sawtooth sound generator. So like I said, for the more advanced morphing capabilities, we need additional sources and we need them to be not virtual analog. Alright, so let's load in some samples. I was browsing through these samples, so you have some samples that you get with Alchemy. Let's go into the soundscapes here. There's some really interesting sounds here. Let's try this drone effects. Yeah, I think I can work with this. I'm going to select additive plus spectral and then import that in. Alright, so just to hear this by itself. Alright, not that interesting, but let's add in more. So I'm going to import another audio file here. Let's get out of this folder. Let's try Jungle Ghosts. I'll stick with C. C4. Let's go with C3. Nice middle ground there. Import that. Notice it takes some time to import it, and you also notice that it was saying computing alignment time because it's going to align all the sound sources so the morphing will be smoother. I'm going to turn on C here. Still doing that. Let's import a different sample. Let's try Orange Dirt. Do we have a C? That's pretty wild. It's pretty low though. Let's see if we can find something else. Ether vent. Additive plus spectral. Import that. It's going to compute time alignment. Give it some time to do that. And one more. Let's pick something else. It's still computing even though it's a sawtooth here. Let's import audio again. Let's see, we'll stick with the soundscapes category. Actually, you know what? Let's bring in some vocals. There's some nice voice samples in here. Let's do vocal phrases, or should we go to solo? Let's try solo vocals, sustain. Let's try RT sustain. Okay, not bad. So just a contrasting sound, import that in. Computing time alignment. Now when I play a note, we're hearing some really bizarre sounds because it's combining all four sounds and giving us a composite of all four of them. So it's not just a morphing, it's not just a crossfade, but true parameter morphing. So this is A, B, C, and D. Also, I should talk about this. So when morph XY, let's start with all. It's easier to understand all. So in all the parameters that have the green arcs are being morphed, right? So all these parameters. Now you notice that they're all set to the same. I didn't really change it. Spectral, formant, pitch, they're all set to the exact same values. But because the samples are different, we will get a different result. Hearing more of the voice here. We can try turning off fixed pitch. Apparently when you turn off fixed pitch, you get a better morph. But you can clearly hear the pitch is going all over the place. I'm not going to turn off auto align because that's the whole stretching of the sample to align things up. So I like having that on. Alright, so that's a regular morphing thing here. But elements is even more fun. So we have additive, spectral, pitch, formant, and envelope all separate. So I can decide, you know what, let's keep everything else in the center. Just double clicking to reset all these. And let's just play with the additive parameters, meaning everything we have under the additive category here. So I'll select the blue circle here. So we're just morphing through those additive parameters. And again, we can totally change this up. So let's try, I don't know, saw plus noise. I'm just going to randomize this. Notice that the second source also changed to saw plus noise because there's this little lock button here. That's basically letting us know that this parameter cannot be morphed. So whatever you set here will be the same for all four sound sources. But that's fine. At least the knobs can be morphed. So let's randomly change these. Alright, so now back in morph. Now your mileage will vary depending on the sample. I'm hearing a lot of bizarreness in C, but A, B, and D seem to be, you know, less intense. Let's try some spectral morphing. This orange circle here. Again, I can go into each of the spectral modes. I can turn on one of these processors. I don't know, what should we try? Metallize? Metallize? Oh, that's intense. So that's A, go to B. I'm just kind of randomly changing these. And last one here, maybe I leave it as is. So now spectral. Right, not that drastic. Pitch is straightforward. We know pitch changes. Let's try formant. Formant can be kind of fun. So I'm going to go in and change up the formants of all these, or specifically the parameters here. Shift it up. Play around with these parameters. Honestly, I don't know what all of them do, but it's kind of fun to just experiment by randomizing these knobs for all four. And now with the formant, which is a purple circle. I'm not seeing it. Is it hiding beneath here? There you go. That's pretty wild. Now envelope does not refer to these envelopes. So this yellow circle here is morphing through individual envelopes in each sample. So these samples have been analyzed and they have their own internal envelope. So that's what's being modulated. Nothing to do with our AHDSR over here. But that's basically it. That's morphing. We're in morph XY. There's morph linear, which is very similar to before, where we can say, hey, let's just go through A and B. It's going to compute time alignment again. So for all parameters, we just have x-axis, right? Or C and D. Again, it'll compute time alignment. Every time it needs to rescan that or recalculate that. It's kind of interesting just staying on the x-axis. And then finally all four at the same time, but still only x-axis. It's wildly different here. Because now we have 4 sources, right? Alright, I'm going to go back to the morph XY because I like the X and Y movement. And of course, we can assign modulators to these. I'm going to assign an LFO to this guy. Slow it down a bit, maybe. Assign a different LFO to this one. New LFO. Let's pick ultra high frequency. Same for spectral. Assign the LFOs. Make sure to increase the depth, otherwise it's not going to move. I want to assign like a steppy LFO to the formant. So let's go to serial angular. That probably implies it's steppy. There we go. And increase depth. That's cool. Maybe this one can have a smoother movement. I can still move the center point, right? So we have modulation, so we still have control. Yeah, pitch tends to sound the most drastic because it's literally just changing pitch. What about trying fixed pitch? That's kind of cool. Let's put some reverb on this entire patch and just hear what that would sound like. As we wrap this up, I'm going to go with acoustic reverb. So it's definitely very bizarre, very experimental sounding, but it's fun that you can create strange sounds like these in Alchemy. So there you have it, morphing in Alchemy.